Hello and welcome to A Valiant Effort. I'm Ted, and today we're going to be doing the Serpentine belt on my 2007 Honda Accord V6. So there's not a ton of space in here, as you'll soon see, but even with just basic hand tools, it should be easy enough to do by yourself. Although I actually recommend doing it with a buddy. You're going to do most of it, and then you're just going to have them hold the wrench, but we'll get into that in a second. Suffice to say, it's a pretty easy job. All right, so this is where we're going to be working here. Here's the Serpentine belt. As you can see, this one's getting a little bit, it's very brown and there's some cracks in it. It's not great. It's been squeaking, so I just figured, you know what, time to replace because it's easy enough and cheap enough. So there is the tensioner, and this is what we're going to be working with. It's a 14 millimeter bolt, and all you do is you attach some kind of wrench or whatever you can fit in there. If you can fit a ratchet in there, that works really well also. And then you're just going to move it towards the back side of the car, and that will loosen that tensioner arm so that you can easily slide the belt off and then slide the new one on. All right, so I've just got a regular 14 millimeter wrench right here. It is ratcheting, so I could use that if I wanted, but let's just say you only have a wrench. You go in, you get yourself on there, and it's really gonna be a bit of a hassle, but then give it a real good push, and you can see I can get the tensioner thing to move forward, the doohickey, and then it should be easy enough for me to take off the belt. I'm going to be super lazy today, and I would say either use an offset wrench, one of these pups here, which I prefer. Very easy to get on in a space like this. Front-wheel drive engines are a bit of a pain in the rear end for this reason. Not a lot of working room. But this, you get a little bit more leverage. And if I can actually use some of the strength I supposedly have, there we go. See how now the belt is loose enough to come off. Now this is why I say you might want to have a few friends with you, because quite honestly, it is a pain. So what I'm going to do is use my my laziness tool, and I'll show you that in a second. In question, I picked this up at Lowe's the other day, just yesterday in fact, for 15 bucks because, I don't know, I thought they would have been more expensive. This is actually meant for taking serpentine belts off. It provides a ton of leverage, and you really don't have to work that hard at it. So if you're being lazy like me, it's a great tool to have. And even though, you know, it's not like you have to do these all that often, I don't know, maybe 3 to 5 years, 40,000 miles, however long a serpentine belt lasts, do them for your friends. You know, it's just makes it so much easier. You can use, like I said, you can use a wrench. You can use the offset wrench. You can even use a ratchet if you can fit it in there. I don't have one that fits right now, which is actually why I ended up buying this, but, or maybe I do. I don't know. I just didn't look hard enough. But you can use all those. This is easier, and for 15 bucks, that's worth it to me. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to slide this fella on here now. All right. Come on. Get on there, little guy. All right, I think we got some. We're going to cut this bit out. There we go. All right, so now I've got... Okay, so at this point, the 14 millimeter that I'm using here wasn't working. It was sort of rounding off the bolt. You'll see me struggle with it in a minute. So I ended up using a 14 millimeter socket, which you'll see me use in the next clip, and that wouldn't even fit on. So I have no idea. I mean, this is the type of stuff that happens to me all the time when I'm doing DIY jobs. I never see it in the video, so I figured I'd show you me struggling here. I ended up going back to the crowfoot, and then in the end, I used the standard equivalent, which worked fine for some reason. All right, here we go. We got it loose. And slip the belt off. All right. Now if we, come on, there we go. You pretty much just have to fish it out of there. And yeah, so I got a Gates belt just because these are supposed to be, I mean, they're OEM, essentially. I'm pretty sure Gates makes the OEM belts for Hondas. I know the timing belt that I got for it was also Gates. I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. That I'm sure you've heard from others is just to stretch the belts out and make sure that they match. That way you're not, tossing your old belt or something and leaving yourself stranded at the garage or in your parking lot. If you need your car or something, you can always put your old belt back on until you get the right sized one. So it's good to check. One thing that might be important to note is that it makes it a whole lot easier to just take off the passenger side wheel so that you can get to these two bottom pulleys here. Because otherwise, you can do it, you can go fishing, but this makes it easier. So I'm going to go ahead and get these situated down on the bottom two pulleys. Best thing to do is to either remember where they go or just look up a V6. This is a J30 V6. Just look up the belt map. You can find it in a Haynes manual, or I literally just looked it up on Google. So what I like to do, I find it makes it easier, is you start from the bottom and you get the belt around the crank pulley there and the AC compressor right there. And then you snake it around the top, following whatever map you've found. There's the one around the AC compressor. Belt's loose right now. And then whatever is below the tensioner, I'm not sure what that is, but it goes around that and then up around the alternator there. And then you're going to want to snake it around this, the power steering pump here, because otherwise you have to kind of work at getting it in, slipping the belt in through that little sliver there, and you're not going to want to be dealing with that while you're putting tension onto the tensioner arm there, because that's just going to be not tensioner arm, whatever it is, the automatic belt tensioner. So you're going to want to make it so that you're trying to slip it around the tensioner as the last thing. At least that's the way I go about it. I find it's a little easier. So the belt is on. It did take me probably about an hour, minus the video part. So and that's mostly because for whatever reason my 14mm was not getting on to that 14mm bolt. So not sure why that was, but the 9/16 did the trick. And then yeah, just getting it around all the pulleys took a little bit of time. Kind of have to wrestle with it. Not to mention I forgot to take the wheel off, but got that off and back on without a problem. So one thing to know is you might want to make some micro adjustments. I always do on this guy and on the pulley beneath, just because they're flat. They're not ribbed like these, so they don't fit in just so. So just make sure they're somewhat centered. I'm sure they kind of adjust themselves a little bit as they spin, but just to be sure. So I'm going to go ahead and start it, and then we're done. Go ahead and start her up. Looks like we're doing all right here. So I'll call that a job done. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more DIY videos, car reviews, and an upcoming podcast. Thanks for watching.